Hey, hello friends, Dale here, Three Generations, welcome. I just wanted to we'll see if it's a quick video on putting my asparagus bed to bed for the winter. So anyhow, this asparagus bed was planted a year and a half ago. I had bought roots from, I think it was Stark Brothers, but I'd have to look up that detail, and I didn't take time or remember to look that detail up. But I got a lot of roots, and I dug the beds in, and I do have a video on that. I don't remember what all the detail I showed on that, but I gave you an idea of how I did it, even if I didn't show it. So anyhow, that was a year and a half ago. So last summer, a year ago, let's say, that first summer after it had been a number of months, we did eat a number of meals off of that. You don't want to overcut your asparagus because those spears that you cut for asparagus become the lifeblood, let's call it, of the roots. Photosynthesis happens from the sun hitting those ferns, we'll call them ferns or fronds, whatever they call them, I don't know, whatever they're called. And that creates the lifeline. It helps the roots to grow really well. Now, obviously you need good soil and maybe you need fertilizers and stuff. I'm not going to comment on that. I try not to use fertilizers that you buy for any of my stuff. In that case, let me back up and say, when we lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I built my raised bed asparagus, when I planted those, I planted them into a 50-50 mix of topsoil and mushroom soil. Mushroom soil I had readily available up in Lancaster, and so I used that for all of my raised bed gardening, and it's very nutritious. It's the spent soil that comes from when they grow mushrooms, either in caves or other facilities. And I liked it because they would do a heat process to that stuff to kill weeds. And so in my raised beds with the 50-50 mix, I dealt with very few weeds. Now out here on former pasture for many, many, many years, where the crabgrass and all that stuff, it is very hard to keep there from being weeds. But as you will see in my B-roll video that covers up my talking head, you'll see kind of what I did, and I'll explain that also. So anyhow, that first summer we cut off some meals. I kept that to where the particular roots had lots of spears coming out, so that I wouldn't overtax that system and let a lot of photosynthesis happen by letting multiple spears go into fronds. And so then this last summer, it really was nice, lots and lots, and we cut, I don't even remember how many meals off of that. And as you can see from the video, these are long rows, 3 of them. They're planted about 2.5 feet apart. They're not real far apart, partly because the closer I keep them, the less weeding I have to do. Last year in the fall, I put them in the bed. They were fairly weed-free that year. I put both scrap wool and wood chips down to help keep them in the spring when they start growing, to keep those weeds from growing back up in. Now with your crabgrass, you know, it sends shoots out across and into areas, and then puts the roots down through so they get sun and they grow. So anyhow, it's a little, this situation is a whole lot tougher than my raised beds in Lancaster City, Pennsylvania. But anyhow, so this year, a few weeks back, maybe a month ago, I started hoeing between the rows, the 3 rows. And as I hoed those out, I put a layer of cardboard down, and then I put Kendra's scrap wool or fleeces that weren't up to her standard of what she wanted for converting to yarn, doing the processing with. So that should help keep the weeds down in the spring there. So that was part A, first part of prepping my asparagus beds for over winter. The next thing that I will do is I will pull weeds away from those 2 outside rows. And after I've done that, I will go in there with either like tree loppers or the little clippers, or I could even do it with a knife. I will cut those dried out dead ferns. I will cut them close to the ground. As you can see in the video, those ferns are very brown now. If I'd have done this video 3 weeks ago, 2 and 3 weeks ago, they were very green. But we had some temperatures down mid-20s. Even one morning it was down to about 15 degrees. And so those have all died off. No photosynthesis going on anymore. That's done. And if you do it too early in the fall, you're going to miss some opportunity for those roots to really continue to be nourished and grow. So now, after those, I pull the crabgrass and weeds away from the bed, from the edges of the bed on both sides. I will then, cut off those things, cut off the ferns, and then fairly close to the ground, and then I will take, last year I actually put wool along those edges and some wood chips. This year I have pretty much used up all my wool possibilities, because Kendra went through and sorted out all of her wool, because we had lots and lots of bags of wool from 2 years of shearing, and she had only processed a little bit of even the first year. So from here on, I will go through then, and I will cover those cut off ferns. I will go ahead and cover those up, probably a couple inches of wood chips, and that's how I put my asparagus bed to bed for the winter. Now, I was going to show you me cutting off those ferns and cutting and pulling weeds back and covering it up. I was going to show you that. But today is a rainy day in our neighborhood. I think most of the not the Susquehanna Valley where we came from, but the Shenandoah Valley where we live now. I think I get those words all mixed up some days at this age. But anyhow, I think most of the Shenandoah Valley is getting rain today. They were calling for a little bit of rain last night, and I thought the rain was completely out of the picture today. But when I got up and I looked at my phone, it was saying 100% chance of rain today. Now, it's not a heavy rain. It's a little drizzly, but everything is very wet out there nonetheless. And am I complaining about the rain? Not at all. Even though I have today off and tomorrow off, today was my schedule to work on the asparagus bed and make this video. So I can't really work in the bed, but I said I'll shoot some video out there, and then I will tell you what I'm planning on doing. I was hoping to show you and tell you, but today is just going to be a show you what it looks like right now and tell you what I'm going to do. So anyhow, we are in a major drought here. My sheep pastures need the rain to try to get the grass I mean, they still have green grass to eat, but I'd like to get that. I'd like to see more rain coming to try to, before it gets frozen out there, to try to get that grass even growing a little bit more. Because the longer I can let them feed on the green grass, the less hay I need for them. So I am rejoicing, yay, 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 that it is raining. Even though it's not going to be a ton of rain, at least it is raining today. And that does not dampen my spirit about doing this asparagus video. And tomorrow is a big day for me, as somebody's coming to buy a small flock of sheep probably from me. So that's exciting. And anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day, folks. We'll see you. Bye-bye.